You open the fridge tonight without thinking. You grab a snack. You don't hunt for it. You don't dig for it. You don't wait for a season to bring it back. But the real answer to what your body was built to eat is far stranger than anything on that shelf. For most of human history, there was no fridge. There was no farm. There was no menu. Your ancestors ate whatever the land gave them, and the land rarely gave gently. Did they eat like the diagrams in your textbook? Not even close. Picture a small group moving across dry grassland 200,000 years ago. No crops grow here. No cattle wait to be milked. Everything edible has to be found, chased, or dug out of the ground with bare hands and a sharpened stick. This is not a farm. This is a search. Anthropologist Richard Wrangham spent decades studying what changed the human body more than anything else. His answer wasn't a weapon. It wasn't a tool. It was fire. Wrangham argued that cooking, not agriculture, was the true turning point in human evolution. Cooked food breaks down faster. It delivers more calories per bite. It frees up energy that raw chewing would have burned away. Before cooking, your ancestors' jaws were larger. Their guts were longer. Digestion took more energy, and more energy meant less left over for anything else. Once fire entered the picture, that changed. Softer food meant smaller teeth. Smaller teeth meant more room in the skull. More room in the skull meant, over time, more room for brain. That's a strange thought, isn't it? A cooking fire, reshaping a skull. But cooking needs something to cook. So what exactly went into that fire? Not steak every night, not endless meat. Researcher Catherine Milton, who studied the diets of both wild primates and human foragers, found that plants made up the majority of calories in most hunter-gatherer diets. Roots, tubers, nuts, seeds. Wild fruit when it could be found, which wasn't often, and never guaranteed. Meat mattered. Meat was prized, but meat was rare, unpredictable, and shared the moment it arrived, because a kill fed more mouths than one hunter could eat alone. Think about that. A steady diet built on uncertainty. No refrigeration, no preservation beyond smoke and salt when available. If the hunt failed, the group ate what the ground offered instead, and the ground did not always offer much. This is where anthropologist Frank Marlowe's long-term research with the Hadza people of Tanzania becomes so revealing. The Hadza are one of the last groups on Earth still living largely as foragers. Marlowe documented that their diet shifts dramatically with the seasons. Honey in the dry months, berries when they ripen, tubers dug from dry soil when nothing else is available, meat only when a hunt succeeds, and hunts don't always succeed. Notice the pattern. Not a fixed diet, not 3 meals at the same time each day. A moving target, chasing whatever the land was willing to give up that week. Your body still remembers this even if your habits don't. That craving for something sweet? It isn't weakness, it's ancient wiring. Wild fruit was rare and packed with fast, usable energy, so a brain that lit up at the taste of sugar had an edge. That craving for salt and fat? Same story. Salt was scarce. Fat was scarce. A body that wanted more of both, whenever it appeared, was a body more likely to survive the next lean stretch. You inherited that wiring intact. Your ancestors just never had a vending machine. Here's the twist most people miss entirely. Ancient humans didn't eat clean. They didn't eat balanced in the way a modern chart imagines balance. They ate whatever kept them alive, and that often meant long stretches of very little, followed by sudden abundance when a hunt succeeded or a fruit tree ripened all at once. Feast, then famine, then feast again. Irregular, unpredictable. Nothing like the tidy 3 meals a day structure that feels so natural to you now. That structure is new. It's cultural. It's not carved into your biology at all. So why does a candy bar feel like such a pull and a plate of plain roots feel like such a chore? Why does the smell of roasting meat still catch your attention across a room, even if you've never hunted anything in your life? Because somewhere in your biology, an ancient calculation is still running. Calories were once so hard to secure that any dense, fast source triggered a reward. Your brain hasn't been told the search is over. It doesn't know the fridge exists. It still reacts as if the next meal is never guaranteed. That's the real answer to the question you never quite asked. It isn't about willpower. It isn't about discipline. It's about a body built across hundreds of thousands of years of scarcity, dropped suddenly into a world of constant abundance. The mismatch isn't a flaw in you. It's a timing problem written into your cells. Agriculture only appeared around 10,000 years ago. In evolutionary terms, that's barely a breath. Grain surpluses, stored food, regular meal times, none of that had time to rewire the ancient instincts underneath. You are, in a very real sense, a forager's body living inside a farmer's schedule, inside a factory supply chain, inside a world your ancestors would not recognize at all. Does that mean modern food is the enemy? Not exactly. It means the instincts guiding you were built for a world that no longer exists. The craving isn't broken. The environment changed too fast for the craving to catch up. Next time you feel that pull toward something sweet, something salty, something rich, pause for just a second. That pull is older than agriculture, older than fire, in its rawest form. It traces back to a small group on dry grassland, uncertain if the next meal would come at all, and a body that learned to want, deeply and instinctively, whatever might keep it alive one more day. Tonight, you'll open the fridge again without thinking. But now you know what's really behind that instinct. It's not the modern world talking. It's a much older voice, still running the same ancient calculation, in a world that finally, and only very recently, stopped asking it to wait.